Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. After having lost the 75, which represents the altcoin season, for the official index of altcoin season, we've been talking about reclaiming that level and holding the altcoin season for a little bit longer than just a couple of days. And since we are seeing some positive moves intra-candle on the daily on Bitcoin, I think it's worth spending some time on looking on some cool potential opportunities using a crypto screener. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. We're going to do TA of those that I'm selected using the screener, and I'm also gonna do TA of Theta coin just because one of you requested it in one of the videos today. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Let's go straight into the content. We got loads of coins to review. Disclaimer, I'm not fully sure we're gonna have enough time to review all of them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from the top to the bottom, and if I don't manage to review all of them in enough time, I'm just gonna cut it and review the rest tomorrow or pick some other ones as well. I do read your comments with all the suggestions. I keep them on a list, and the more I hear certain coins, I give them some priority as well. Do not be disappointed if I don't review the coin that you're requesting. There's so many requests and there's so little time to put them all in the video, and you know I am a parrot and I talk a lot. That's kind of the deal with this channel. So let's go with Theta. Theta was very impressive. I remember in 2020, I joined a few Patreon accounts when I was starting to learn about fundamentals from different coins. And one of them, there was this dude that was obsessed with Theta. I think probably he's the biggest influencer of Theta. And I remember accumulating on the second half of 2020, and then eventually in March looking at my profits, and it was just unbelievable. Look at this. It did almost 2000% from around the area where I started accumulating. So what I'm trying to say, this is a coin that can pump huge. And I don't think we have seen yet what Theta can do in this cycle. And that's why I'm gonna use the Fibonacci trend-based extension, which you can find on TradingView here in the area of Gann and Fibonacci tools. It's the second one, not the first one. And in order to get it like this, you just enable it. The way I use it for a projection of an uptrend is I go typically to the bottom of the previous bear market and I project it to the top of that cycle, and then I find I move down to the bottom of this bear market. So basically bear to bull to bear. You can configure it. In this case, I have these levels configured, the golden pocket and extensions beyond 2 and sometimes even 3 in case some coins show to have had that in the past. So in this case, what is targeting is $26.5 based on the performance of the previous bull market if we talk about the golden pocket. A more conservative target of $21 with the 1.272, and the all-time high is located roughly at $16. And what influences that target? Well, basically how low it went. The lower you go, you start stretching down that target, and it also influences the target where is that bottom from the previous bull market. The second target that I look into with the Fibonacci extension, which I'm gonna do here on Theta, is from the bottom of this rally until March, and then the bottom in August. That gives me a shorter term target of golden pocket, which at the moment is pointing at $6.2. Basically, it's projecting this whole bull flag extension, how far additionally it can get. If we get to $4.2, we already get the same performance as before, but typically in nature the golden pocket appears everywhere, so let's talk about $6.3. Let's look at the levels of support and resistance before I explain what is this malicious D letter that is appearing there, which has never appeared in the history of Theta. Very interesting. We are on a weekly chart, and that's the reason. If we were in the 1 hour, we will see it all over the place. Let's focus on support and resistance. Obviously, we have the 56 cents, followed by $1, psychological as well. That was the bottom of August, July, September, October. The most immediate resistance is around $3.9 to $4. That's because of the support in June, all this area in here in 2021 before we enter into a bear market. So $4 will be pretty significant. You can see that already we saw a rejection as well in March, and I guess that's why we are seeing now some resistance, but we haven't reached that level yet. After that, we have the 8.4 cents. That is because this order block initiated created the bear market right there with a drawdown of 93%. So it is significant and the all-time high at $16, definitely. So what's currently going on with Theta? Well, it broke out in August. Since then, it's been putting higher highs and higher lows on the RSI. It had that awesome entry from the cross-view ratio right there in the green. And here's the problem. You can see that pretty much since September 2021, it has never been so high in level of longs. So the week ending of 2nd of December pretty much has been the highest concentration of longs on a weekly time frame. And what we are seeing right now is a flash of longs, leverage pretty much, and I'm pretty sure that they are gonna continue trying once they get over with slamming those excessive levels of longs. Unfortunately, since the RSI has moved up 34 points non-stop, it's absolutely impossible to place any line in here to call for support. If we do it like this, it looks a little bit like a joke. It's a breakdown, but what is the quality of this? I wouldn't trust this breakdown as this. It's just too low quality. We can see that that rejection has already reached a price of $2.1, very close to the 1.9, pretty much $2 as well, of the volume weighted moving average, and extremely close to 1.9 support, which if we place on that candle close, it gets even closer with $2. It depends where you want to place it, but $2 is support, and we came back down for retesting that lever, taking out the excessive longs, and I'm pretty sure that once it's getting over all those excessive longs, we're gonna resume the uptrend going into $4. And if you think about it, if you enter late at $2.1 and you target 4, that's already almost 100% profits. I am still holding Theta because I didn't sell everything in here. I sold the vast majority, but I left a small bag which has been giving me company the whole bear market. I'm happy to start distributing at the all-time high and aggressively between $16 to $26. I'm not looking at any fundamental. I don't believe in any of them. I'll take profits as soon as I'm satisfied with the levels we get to. The way I'm using the crypto screener is very simple. You just go to tradingview.com/cryptocoins screener or search for it on Google and then add a column in here. I search for RSI, but you can add anything that you want, like valuation, holders, transactions, sentiment, technicals, market data, everything. Coin info is very interesting. It contains loads of other valuable metrics like total value logged and stuff like that if you are into fundamentals. And then what I did is I set up the RSI with the daily with a standard length of 14, and I sorted from the lowest level to the highest level. Notice that I wouldn't do this any day, okay? Today is a day where Bitcoin so far is pumping, and you know the flow of cash says that if continues to do so and it breaks above 101k, finds a new top and starts going sideways, during that process is where we start looking for opportunities on altcoins in case Bitcoin holds decently at those new levels higher. If Bitcoin sees a rejection on 103k and then it goes straight to 70k, then take for granted that everything's gonna get sold out like crazy. So I just captured these ones and I send it to my daily request list, and now they are appearing here. Voila, magnificent. Let's look into Bonk. At the moment, Bonk is forming this shape in here, and it broke out from that. It's like a symmetrical triangle bull flag, and it has had 4 weeks in the red in a row in a painful process of retesting the breakout from the bull flag. Notice that the bull flag target should have been something like this. From breakout area to the top is 21,000%, and that is because this one was 23,000%. In my opinion, we cannot do that to a coin like Bonk because it's a meme coin, and typically meme coins continue to do incredible returns, but every single return is diminishing relative to the previous one. So we need to keep an eye on that. It's not a rule, but most of them do that thing. At the moment, we have reached the 1272 and the extension is pointing at 71.857, which is the golden pocket. You can see that the Fibonacci is a lot more conservative at the moment with this extension. Let's look at the RSI, which is pretty much saying that there was a breakout, there was a retest, and we have reached this level now of 74 and now on the pullback. Notice what the RSI has done on Bonk. So pretty much flat since May 2023 up until October, then an extremely impulsive move, then a new high on the RSI, not even bearish divergence, not telling anybody what comes next, and then after that the RSI has been cooling down for 320 days. Then we get the breakout, the confirmation. So my thinking is it really going to do something like that? Or is this movement just the equivalent to this one, and then we should be expecting another period of cool down? At the moment, we don't have any line that we can place anywhere to say there is a breakdown, except for maybe doing something like this, in which case we have support at 49 RSI, and 49 RSI is pointing at 36.64.94, which from where we are, it's an 800%. And once again, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know, when there's these coins with very small numbers, the reverse RSI goes completely nuts. So we're gonna ignore that number I just said. It should be indeed below the price, because we are at RSI 59 and support is at 49. So how can we go to support by going up in the price? That's crazy. Let's move on. Actually, before we move on, I haven't provided any levels of support. We got the resistance of the high within the bull flag, which was at 34, and we have so far confirmed this. I think it will be great by Sunday to see a closing price above that to confirm that we could be bouncing off and invalidating my idea that this top looks too much like this and that we are just gonna see momentum coming back down once again. Notice that while the momentum was coming down, the price carried on putting new highs, but each one of them was a bearish divergence except for this one. Now we can move on and look at WIF. Really very challenging to do TA with meme coins. They don't have enough history and they really do weird things, causing the RSI to look really funky. In here, at least we have support, but I'm not sure it's gonna work anymore. We have 53 support on the weekly. That 53 is $2.9, and 2.9 roughly is support as well and resistance. Maybe we can place it slightly like that, so we also take advantage of that movement there, in here, the wicks and that price there. So effectively support is 282, RSI says 290, and we have resistance at 374. That is the closing price there, the wicks, more wicks in here, and then a closing price at 371 last week. That's the week high from the closing price last Sunday. So we are also in the process of testing that. Let's go to the daily and see what are we seeing here. There was a movement up that saw a rejection on the order block. So far we are holding it. We came straight there, and 3 candles in a row we've been below my support, and now we are putting the second day in green. Probably this is the area most traded with loads of sell and buy orders. If we can get over that, we can approach and challenge once again the 374. You can see that WIF is at 47 on the RSI, and relative to the rest of the coins that on the daily, many are reaching already over 80s or above 60s. The vast majority probably is in between 50 and 60 with an average of 55 above neutral. So very few of them are still below 50s. That's why we are looking at them, but we need to keep an eye whether we see real weakness on the technicals or if it's just collapsing because of a liquidation event or something like that, in which case we can forgive being late today to the party and still consider them. Let's go with BSV, which stands for Bitcoin SV. Back to the weekly. I think I have never done TA on this one. So BSV has had quite a rally in here, bouncing off the support so many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is located at 52. Let's see where is that in the price. The price is 60 pretty much, and let's place the resistance somewhere in here, although it's not very clear because in that side it doesn't match. But if I put it that high, then I'm missing out on these touches and that touch there. So I'll keep it at $60, even though in here is not respecting it very well. There is some interaction at $60 many times, and it's not always perfect, so let's call it a band rather than a level. And then we have the resistance at $80. So again, another psychological level that has been support multiple times, and again it becomes resistance. Then we have 115, 177, the order block that starts the bear market, and the all-time high at 477. In terms of support, if we broke the 60, I will say maybe it's too far, 33. Maybe we need another level of support at 46. 45 roughly, I will say. Now, going back into this, we have the confluence of the RSI at 59 with that level of 60 support. Again, same type of analysis. We need to hold 60 after this rally. We are probably taking down some of the longs. It hasn't even started. It's still at 80. Interesting. There's been just a very small reduction in longs in here. If we look at the daily, you can see that even though we managed to get above $80, we lost it. As soon as we cross below 80, we crash back to 60. Always going to the 4 hour, we can see a little bit more. For example, in here, we have a breakout that started at 5 p.m. yesterday and is already on the way to the middle of the range at $70. In my opinion, this bounce is pretty nice, so it's looking good for another leg up. I'm gonna skip these ones and I'm gonna focus on TAO just because many people have been asking for that and I haven't done it in a long time. And with that, I'm gonna wrap up the video. TAO is also having a nice rally on the weekly. You can see still holding every single time and very close to the weekly support at 55. Let's change that here. And in price action, that 55 is $572. Very often those levels tend to be also significant levels of support. You can see support there, 1, 2, 3, 4, resistance, 5, closing above it. Again, interaction with the level multiple times. That is 566, and we are just being held in here by the all-time high. We can also place a line like this that probably many people are looking at. So there is a confluence there at 566 holding the price. It trapped a lot of shorts, expecting this to correct big. Again, we're gonna use the extension and I'll do it from this impulsive move to top to the bottom of end of July to see some juicy projections to $1,337 and the 1 to 72 more conservative of 1100. So that from here is 76% to 120%. If we just do the bull flag like this, that gives us $2,700, but of course that is quite dangerous. I'm just noticing that there is a cap and handle. Let's draw it in here. That is the cap and handle, and the target, if we break out above $713, is 31.54. Wow, okay, so maybe with this coin it wouldn't be that crazy to use this flag, but we need to break the all-time high first and keep an eye for the levels in the middle coming from the golden pocket and the 1272 that I mentioned as well. I think it was 1100 and 1300, something like that. So as you can see, I'm doing the opposite that other people, that when there is a rally, the last thing that you want to be doing is longing the best performers of the day. And if you do, you need to be prepared also for the largest corrections of the day. There can always be more upside, but you're pretty much buying every single time frame at the highest RSI possible. Therefore, the first correction that you take is very likely to be also the largest of all the corrections from the different coins. So what we are doing is admitting that this is a great day, and if it stays like that, many of these coins are gonna follow up. Guys, if you wanna trade altcoins, you need to think it twice. Bybit has the most coins on spot and future perpetuals with all the different leverage combinations that you need. And if you open a new account using my link in the description, you can claim up to 30,000 in rewards based on trading volume and also get the lowest fees to trade. If you want to stay away from needing KYC though, you can have a look at one of my 2 exchanges that I'm currently using without needing to use VPN. On Bluffing, for example, I have multiple accounts with different emails, and I'm very conscious that in some locations you still need VPN with Bluffing, and that's why I have these 2 options, 2bit and Bluffing. So give one of them a try, and if it doesn't work, try the other one. Just make sure that you use the link in the description so you don't miss, for example, this campaign that ends in 2 days offering deposits and trade volumes bonuses. 2bit is currently offering 9k bonus and 40% discounts. All the exchange links are in the description. I'm planning to put an update tonight that's gonna be on Coin Bureau trading channel. It's probably gonna be a short one since the morning video was already half an hour. Whatever you do, don't miss the end of the morning video. I am talking about how long we should be staying on a monthly RSI above 70 and how to interpret all of that. And it's pretty shocking what is given when using a linear regression to calculate that. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.